Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back for another math lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about solving problems about shapes. So let's go into our video and get started in our lesson. Our words to know.
Triangle. Cross out. Read and understand. All of these are triangles. Circle the words that are true about all triangles. What do you need to find out? You need to identify the words that are true about all triangles.
So when they give us clues, we need to decide, is this true about all triangles?
Plan. How can you use the clues to solve the problem?
All right, so these are the clues here that are listed about the triangles. We need to decide which of these clues is true about not just one of the triangles, but all of the triangles. So we're going to break them down one clue at a time to figure out which one are the clues that are true about all triangles.
I will only circle the words that are true of all triangles. Solve.
All right, so let's look at the clues that we have. It says, have three sides is the first clue. Is that true about all triangles? Are blue. Is that true about all the triangles? Have a flat bottom. Is that true? Are big. And the last clue is have three vertices. So think about these clues and we'll decide which one is true about all of them.
I see some small triangles. I see some triangles sitting on a vertex. Look back and check. Do the words work with all triangles?
All right, so they said that they knew that all triangles have three sides and all triangles also have three vertices. So they circled those two clues. It says, do the words work with all of the triangles there? Well, do all triangles have three sides? Yes, they do. Do all triangles have three vertices? Yes, they do. So both of those clues are true.
The triangles all have three sides. The triangles all have three vertices. I have circled the correct words.
All right, so we want to look out for those clues that are only true about the certain shape that they're talking about. So we're going to go into some practice problems together to solve problems about shapes. Number 1, it says all of these shapes are squares. Circle the word that are true of all squares. So looking at the shapes that we have here at the top, all of these are squares. Now the one you might be confused by is this last one here, but this square is still a square, it's just turned on its side. So we need to find the clues that are true of all squares, and they did that. They circled have four sides, so all squares have four sides, and all squares have sides of equal length. What's not true about all of the squares here is that it says are orange. Well, one of these squares is blue and one of them are green, so that's not true about all of them. And have a flat bottom, again, that's not true about all of them because this last square is turned on its side. Question number 2. All of these shapes are cubes. Circle the words that are true of all cubes. All right, so let's look at the clues first, and then we will decide. The first clue is have 6 flat surfaces. The second clue is have 8 vertices. The next clue is are purple. And the last clue is are small. So let's start with the first clue. Is it true that all cubes have 6 flat surfaces? Well, if we think about what a cube looks like, we know that a cube does have 6 flat surfaces. So do all of these have flat surfaces? Yes, they do. That clue is true about all of the cubes. So we can circle that clue. Next clue, let's go down to are purple. Looking at these 4 cubes here, are all of these cubes purple? I hope that you said no. 2 of them are red, so I cannot circle that as one of my clues. Next fact, let's hop over here. It says have 8 vertices? Well, let's recount our vertices to make sure. Looking at this purple cube, count the vertices with me. We know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, but what's on one side is also on the other. 5, 6, 7, 8. So if all of these are cubes, will all cubes have 8 vertices? Yes, they will. So I can circle that as a clue. And the last one is are small. Looking at all 4 of these cubes, are all of them small? I hope that you said no. Only the 2 red ones are small. The 2 purple ones are larger, so that is not a clue. Those are the only 2 clues here that are true about all of the cubes. Let's try another example. Number 3, it says all of these shapes are cones. So think about what makes up a cone and what a cone looks like. Circle the words that are true of all cones. All right, so let's look at these 4 cones that we have here. We see that some of them are big, some of them are smaller, some are yellow, some are green, and some are blue. So let's see the clues that they list for us. All cones are big is the first one. Looking at all 4 of these, are all of these cones big? I don't think so, so I'm going to cross that clue out. The next one, hopping down here, it says are blue. Are all of these cones blue? Shout out your answer. I hope that you said no, they're not all blue, so I cross that out. The next one, have one flat surface. Well, let's think about what makes up a cube. Do all cubes have one flat surface? I know this cube has a flat surface down up top here. Looking over at this cube, I know the flat surface is down at the bottom. At the green cone, it will be down at the bottom, as well as with the yellow cone, it will be down at the bottom. So do all cones have one flat surface? Yes, they do. So I can circle that clue. Next one, have a flat surface at the bottom. All right, let's looking at these cubes. Looking at the first one, does this cone have a flat surface at the bottom? No, it does not. This cone has its vertex at the bottom. So is that true of all of the cones we see? No, it is not. So I'm going to cross that out. Next one, it says, the last clue says have one vertex. Well, let's think about what we know about cones and check these cones to see if that's true. We already circled that this at the bottom here has one vertex here. So let's go over to the second picture. I see at the top, again, it has only one vertex. The little green one also only has one vertex, and the yellow also has one vertex at the top. So do all of these cones have one vertex? I hope that you said yes, and these are my 2 clues for this word problem. Let's try another example. This time we're going to talk about the trapezoids. So it says all of these shapes are trapezoids. Circle the words that are true of all trapezoids. So again, the only one that should look a little funny to us is this blue one here. But again, if you just turn your head, you'll see that it really is a trapezoid. It's just turned on its side, which you can do with shapes. So let's find the clues that are true of all trapezoids. Are all of these trapezoids small, boys and girls? No, only one of them are small. So I'm going to cross that out. Next one, have 4 sides. Do all trapezoids have 4 sides? Well, let's count and see. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. And the last, 1, 2, 3, 4. So do all trapezoids have 4 sides? Yes, they do. We're going to circle that one. The next one, have sides of different lengths. So let's break that down to think about what that means. Meaning that not all the sides are the same length on a trapezoid. Let's look at our trapezoids and see if that is true. Are all of these sides the same length in this first one? No, they are not. Are all of these the same size, or are all of these different lengths? Yes, they're all different lengths. How about the third? Does this trapezoid all have sides of different lengths? Yes. And the last, do all of these have sides of different lengths? Yes. So not all sides of a trapezoid are the same. So they all do have sides of different lengths. Oops. All right, so we're going to circle that one. The next one, are red. Are all of these trapezoids red? Shout out your answer. I hope that you said no. There is one that is blue. And this last clue here, have four vertices. So it comes together in 4 points. Let's check and count. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one is good. The next one, 1, 2, 3, 4. That one is good. The next one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Also has 4 vertices. And the last, 1, 2, 3, 4. So do all trapezoids have 4 vertices? Yes, they do. And we already circled our last one of that they all have sides of different lengths. So this one had 3 clues. Let's go on to the next one. It says to use reasoning to solve. So we need to think about the problems. Let's break it down. It says to circle the cubes. So looking at these 4 shapes, we need to circle the ones that are cubes. Let's look at this first big green shape that we have here. Is this a cube? Shout out your answer. I hope that you said yes, so we are going to circle that. Let's hop over to this blue shape over here. Is this a cube? Shout out your answer. I hope that you said no, so we are not going to circle that one. Let's hop down here. Looking at this blue shape, is this a cube, boys and girls? Shout out your answer. I hope that you said yes. And the last one, is this one a cube? Careful with this one. Think about it and shout out your answer. I hope that you said no. This is not a cube. It is a rectangular prism. So these are the only 2 that are cubes. Let's go on to the next part of our problem. It says to cross out the clue that is not true of all cubes. So they're going to give us clues, but not all of them are going to be true. We're going to leave the ones that are true and cross out the ones that are not. So let's go to our first clue. It says all cubes have more than 5 flat surfaces. So is that true of all cubes? Do they all have more than 5 flat surfaces? Well, think about a cube. How many flat surfaces does a cube have? Let's take a minute to count and think. I see 1 here, but what's on one side is also on the other, even though I can't see it, so that's 2. I have 1 here, that's 3. In the back, I will also have 4, even though I can't see it. At the top, I have 5. And at the very bottom, even though I can't see it, that will be 6. So a cube has 6 flat surfaces. So do all cubes have more than 5 flat surfaces? Shout out your answer. I hope that you said yes, because all cubes have 6, and 6 is more than 5. So that clue is true. All right, the next one, it says all cubes are blue. So we circled 2 cubes here. Are all of them blue? Shout out your answer. I hope that you said no. So I'm going to cross out that fact because that is not a true fact about all cubes. And our last says all of the cube's flat surfaces are the same size and same shape. Well, a cube is a special solid shape because it's made up of all squares. And we know that squares are all the same size and the same shape. So, is a cube's flat surface is made up of the same size and same shape? Yes, so that is a true fact, and I'm not going to cross it out. And our last problem for today, it says, which is true of all rectangular prisms? Looking at the 4 shapes that we have here, we have 1 blue, 2 red, and 1 yellow. Some of them are big, some of them are small, and one of them is turned to face on its side. So we need to find the fact that is true of all of the rectangular prisms. First clue, they're all red. Are all of these rectangular prisms red? Shout out your answer. I hope that you said no, that is not true. Are all of these rectangular prisms big? Shout out your answer. I hope that you said no, that is not true of all of them. The next clue says have a long flat surface at the top. So looking here at this blue one, a long flat surface at the top would look like this. As we see here, it's that long rectangle at the top. Do all of our rectangular prisms have that long rectangle at the top? This one does. This second red one does. The small red one does. But how about this yellow one? Does that have a long flat surface at the top? No, it does not. That would be a square. So that is not true of all the rectangular prisms. And our last clue says have 6 flat surfaces. Think back to when we learned about our rectangular prism. How many flat surfaces does a rectangular prism have? I hope that you said 6. And all of our rectangular prisms will have 6 flat surfaces. To remind you, let's count. We have 1, on the opposite side 2, in the front 3, on the back 4, on the top 5, and underneath 6. So do all of them have 6 flat surfaces? Yes, they do, and that is true of all rectangular prisms. So that is our answer. That is the end of our little lesson for today. I hope that you found it helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Have a great day, boys and girls, and I will see you next time.